where someone made the meme. It's like, oh, I was X amount of years old when I realized that Valve released Steam.
Oh.
So the pun and then the actual program and everything. So
God!
Oh, did it hit you too?
Wait, what? Oh, no, okay. I never put the phrase. I never put it together in words.
Valve released Steam.
God damn it!
Hello and welcome to the Games That Made Us podcast. I'm Brent. I'm here with my friend Kirk. Say hi, Kirk.
For Chivalry!
Yes! And we're joined as always by our good friend Benny. Say hi, Benny.
I've been poisoned.
Yes. Yes, you have. It's good to be back, fellas. How we doing?
Pretty good, man. What you drinking over there? Well, besides the poison you made us drink earlier.
Yeah, so I'm sure it'll show up on the episode somewhere, but we were drinking some Baijiu, which I strongly recommend that you not ever do that, or at least the particular brand that we were having is
Escape your fate.
Yeah, it's mostly hate. It's hate and concrete, I think, is what we decided.
If you want to join the rest of the scumbags who like Malort, you're gonna love this drink. Fuck you,
Do
Chicago.
you like drinking but not like yourself very much?
Yeah.
That's Chicago's tagline now. It's not the Windy City. It's that.
Do you like drinking but not yourself very much? Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a dunk on some city today. I mean, it was either that or Philly. I don't think I've got there yet. But
no, you dunked on Philly.
Oh, I did?
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
San Jose, you're next.
Oh God. Other than the fact that they're rich, I mean, okay. Anyway, so I'm washing the taste. Well, I'm trying and failing to wash the taste of the Baijiu out of my mouth with a Storm Chaser IPA from Free State Brewing, which is one of my very favorite breweries here in the greater Midwest.
The continental Midwest.
The continental Midwest, as opposed to the island Midwest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which, no, I don't even have a joke about that. That's just so stupid.
The floating island of Zeal Midwest.
Yes. Oh my God.
There we go. Tied it back.
Rock Island in the Quad Cities. There's another island.
There you go.
Yeah.
True. I was playing fucking Tears of the Kingdom, and the fucking the design of the like floating islands was really cool, but that game is pissing me off something fierce. What about you? What are you drinking?
Oddly,
what are you doing?
The Baijiu is setting in.
without any communication or cooperation or whatever, I also happened to bring in some beer from Free State, specifically their Oktoberfest, because we're in that time of the year when everyone's releasing their Oktoberfest, so it's my favorite time of year. I will stock, like, I normally don't drink
son of a bitch.
Yeah, I normally don't drink beer through, like, well, St. Patty's Day when there's more red ales and stuff coming out and Irish ales, yeah, I'll stock my fridge. But this is the other part of the year where my entire garage fridge is nothing but Oktoberfest.
Nice.
Because I normally don't drink beer that much. But during the season, oh, hell yeah. Oktoberfest, Marzens, whatever you throw at me, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And, I really, really enjoy Free State. If you guys have never been, go out there. Well, get a reservation because...
It's really cool. Yeah, we went out there one time. We went out to Lawrence for a concert, and we stopped there. It was really neat.
Yeah. Make sure to get a reservation ahead of time though, because if you try to go there same day, you're going to be standing outside for about an hour. It's very, very popular.
Yeah,
I agree. I really like those. The Oktoberfest, the Casey Beer Co. Fest beer is really good. By the way.
Yeah, I love Casey Beer Co. Yeah. And speaking of places that are fun to go, like that patio is so nice.
It's their beer garden and tap room is just awesome. They used to do an indoor, like, kind of like Boulevardia, like a beer festival, but like inside the brewery. Okay. And they had like vendors set up little, basically like carts, and you'd like walk through, and it was really cool. I don't think they've done it since like 2019. Maybe they started again. I don't know. I hope they do it more. But
I wonder if there was some sort of historical event post 2019 that would explain why they didn't want a whole bunch of people congregating there.
I have no idea what kind of fake news you're talking about, Brent.
I don't heard anything.
I do like Casey Beer Co.'s interaction with all the other Irish people in the Kansas City area because it's so cool. Like you'll see a St. Patty's Day parade and see a big old German float come by with like lederhosen and shit, and it's the exact opposite when there's like an Oktoberfest gathering. There's people wearing fucking green and 4-leaf clovers and shit. I just like that they're getting along. Everyone's having fun.
That's the thing about Kansas City is, you know, when you found a town and it's mostly Germans and Irish people, yeah, we'll find a way to have fun as long as there's alcohol involved.
I'm happy that brewery in particular is doing well because I love their beer.
Yeah.
And they're clearly succeeding. They're distributing their canning now.
Yeah.
So like getting their Dunkel in cans, it just tastes so much fresher.
Yeah.
It's great.
I don't tend to like German style beer very much, and even I like KC Beer Co. quite a bit. So
I mean, I can smash way too many of the Dunkels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous beer.
Their Heffy is really, really good.
Yeah.
When we lived in the Waldo area for a bit in our younger years, we would walk over to the brewery and get the big old like 1 liter Steins full of Dunkel,
nice.
and we would take down 2 of those in a night. It's like, damn.
That's awesome.
We lived
so
within
good.
walking distance, so we could handle the stumble home. But as it happens, I am drinking none of the above.
Right.
I'm drinking a. I've always been unsure about pronunciation for sure, but I'm going to say Lagunitas.
That's how I've always
That's
said
how I say it.
An IPA, or just their like flagship IPA. It's got like the cute
Puppy.
little dog on the front,
Yeah.
and the tagline is highly balanced, super drinkable, and I tend to agree.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
And as is tradition, it's a log-sized beer.
Dude, I want to know where you find every beer that you bring is always like in a can that's at least 3 beers worth of can.
Yeah, it's a tall boy or a crowler or something fucking crazy every time.
So the last time, what did I have last time? I had some sort of nonsense in like a massive, like it was the size of a telephone pole.
Yeah.
This one, Brent, to strip away the magic,
Oh.
I got from the general store 2 blocks away from your house.
Aw, dude. I picture there being like some sort of like store that only Benny knows about with like Lilliputian sized like people working and giant beers that they have to roll
Like
out, and
30 of them bring out like they're like Egyptian slaves, like building the pyramids, like moving blocks. They're just bringing me my beer. Like,
Oh, I was imagining like gnomes singing like a tiny little adorable song as they're rolling like barrels across the floor. And
I think we had very different takes on what this looked like. I think yours is better.
It's that poison Brent fed me. It's starting to attack my brain now.
oh yeah, it'll do that.
I'll do that. Not even just I'll do that.
Yeah. All right.
Synapses just snapping everywhere.
So, Jesus. Yeah, no, that's not inaccurate either. Okay, let's talk about video games.
Oh shit, that's what we.
Yeah, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
that's
for
what
a
we
minute.
do.
Since when?
And also, fan, it's like 10:30 in the morning.
January?
So
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. No, it's.
It
we
was a
figured
cool September morn.
Yeah, it would be weird if we started our recording session for the day without drinking. We had to start a little bit earlier today, so
Yeah, and I went to bed late enough and drank enough that I'm not entirely certain I'm not still drunk. So it's gonna be an exciting recording session. Kirkelstein,
yeah, man.
what game are we talking about today?
We are talking about Shovel Knight today.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So after some feedback I got from some of our more younger audience, just
Okay.
that I happen to know, because no one reaches out to us anyways.
No, nobody talks to us.
Nobody talks to us.
Yeah.
But I do know some younger viewers, and they had brought up like, all right, what is an old game to you? Like, where's your
Right,
where's the
what's
cutoff
retro
point?
kind of
Yeah,
thing, yeah.
where's your cutoff? Like, because it's the games that made us. Well, there could be a game you're playing even right now
Sure.
that will stick around, but
Hell yeah.
obviously there's some nuance. So what is kind of your cutoff point?
Okay.
And so I did some research, and I found that Shovel Knight is 10 years old, and I think that's a very yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, his head is in his face is in his hands.
Don't do that to me,
Yeah.
man.
So it's 10 years old now.
This is the revenge for the Baiju, isn't it?
Yeah.
What existential angst?
Yeah.
And the game proper, Shovel Knight, it's 10 years old now, so not including the DLCs. The DLCs will come out later.
Right.
And if you're a little bit later to the game, it would eventually, the main campaign after all of the DLCs came out, it would be renamed, the main campaign, to Shovel Knight, A Shovel of Hope.
Right. It's like New Hope for
Yeah.
Star Wars.
It was
Clever.
Yeah, they went back and changed it just because the DLCs are still identified as Shovel Knight, but to make the main campaign where you're the actual Shovel Knight to make it easier to understand, they called it A Shovel of Hope. I think in 2017. Sounds about right. It was 3 years later. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
So when I was asking the younger people, you aren't even that young. What constitutes
when I was talking to them chillins.
Yeah. How do you do, fellow children? So I was like, I think 10 years. I think if it's been 10 years and you're still playing it, and you still hold it to such a high regard, I think that's a good indicator.
Absolutely.
And this is a game that it came out on almost everything,
Yep.
and I loved it so much I fucking bought it on everything. Yep. My Xbox One back in that day, my Nintendo 3DS, my Nintendo Switch, my PC. Mm-hmm. I bought it on everything I could. This game is so fun. It's so charming. It's so delightful.
Yeah.
And just its story of how it became a game is kind of funny.
Okay. I know nothing about the backstory of this game.
Well, it was a Kickstarter game.
So I know it's crowdfunded.
Yeah, it's crowdfunded. Entirely crowdfunded for the most part.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Primarily using Kickstarter, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of ambitious goals, but a lot of people liked what they saw as far as test footage. And the game itself, and I probably should have busted out my phone to read some of my notes, but I'm like, nah.
That's all right.
More organic right now is fine. It's that poison's fucking with my brain anyways.
Dude. Yeah.
But it basically the game.
Talk about inorganic.
If I remember correctly, the game started as kind of a conversation, almost a drunken conversation gone wrong.
Okay.
If I understand correctly,
Okay.
they were coming up with a concept for a game, but everybody that was kind of talking about it, just a bunch of friends, loved it so much they were like, well, why don't we just do that?
Right.
Like, we're smart lads.
Lads.
Yeah. And they did exactly that. And so heavily crowdfunded. Everyone loved it. My only regret, because I saw this back in the Kickstarter days, and I didn't donate any damn money. And I don't. Oh my god! It's like if I just would have known.
Yeah.
I would have thrown so much money because I would have. I ended up throwing a bunch of money at him anyways by buying a copy of it on everything. So it's a platformer.
Yep.
2D platformer. And they draw heavily from the old school Nintendo 8-bit feel, and that is very apparent because they tried to keep their color palette that they used throughout the entire game consistent with what you would have seen like on an NES.
Yep.
The only time, and it's not really noted anywhere, but I did read this elsewhere, the only time they ever had to deviate like to a color palette that wouldn't have matched NES,
on the NES.
Was specifically in the Viking Knight. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
He's like Polar Knight or something.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was the color palette that they used for, I think, his sprite, and then some of the other stuff that wouldn't have been possible on the NES, but they felt like they needed to get that across.
Sure.
So it's very, very faithful to what you would have seen on an old school console. All the music is very chiptune-y and just adorable.
So music.
I think in the grand scheme of things, they really pushed it to the max.
Mm-hmm.
Like taking that,
working within the constraints that they had or that they gave themselves.
Yeah.
I think well, it's easier for us to do it now because we know the technology in and out, and then of course everything that comes after it. So going back, I think if you would have taken that music and brought it back in time somehow and gave it to a composer, they would have been like, how did you accomplish this using the same hardware?
It reminds me of, I don't know if either of you guys have played, but there's a game called Xenocrisis that came out pretty recently. I mean, it's like a Smash TV style dual stick shooter, but they built it for the Genesis and then ported it to other platforms. And then, like I say, it's only like 3 years old, but I say that it's probably 10 years old. But
this game was built in 1978.
But what's amazing to me is like if you play that game and you listen to the music, it'll totally change your mind about like what the Genesis sound chip was capable of. And I feel like with Shovel Knight, they built a game that visually and orally feels like an NES game, but like, yeah, to the max, like the most that would have been capable of, and probably pushing past it at certain points.
I think especially when we look at games from before everything could be captured digitally and we could have, actual like real fidelity sound. Like a lot of the games that we cover, I don't think it's a coincidence that they excel in not just gameplay, but sound is somewhere that they succeed and go above and push their hardware to the limits.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's a thing that is passive for most of your experience, but so I don't always find myself like specifically paying attention to Shovel Knight's soundtrack, for example, but when I do, it's as charming as anything I've ever heard.
Yeah, that opening, like the opening score for the first level, which winds up being like a recurring theme. Like, oh my god, it's just so good. And like it's that like call to adventure, and I love.
You know what the name of that song is called?
I don't.
Dig the Earth.
Nice. Oh my god! And the whole presentation of this game is just so fucking charming. Like all the little Bubsy-esque puns at the beginning of each level. There's so much like heart to this game, and this is not my first take at Shovel Knight. I had this on my 3DS and played it quite a bit, but this is my first time ever finishing Shovel of Hope, like the first campaign. For whatever reason, once I got Treasure Trove on my 3DS, I spent more time playing Plague Knight's campaign than the actual like Shovel Knight campaign. Maybe just because it's got goofy jumping mechanics, and I love goofy jumping mechanics.
Oh yeah, because you have to like you get a double jump, but you have to utilize the bombs to do
yes.
the jump.
Yep. It's almost like a Metroid-y kind of wall jump sort of thing, or bomb jump kind of thing.
Yep. Which can be wildly unpredictable.
Yes. Yes, 100%. But I love in Shovel Knight just the game wears its influences on its sleeve in terms of gameplay and graphics and sound, but its influences are really weird, because the one that I noticed the most was fucking DuckTales on the NES, which is such a weird, because the big thing with DuckTales is it's,
I know you when you're using you use his cane and he does like a down kind of jump hop thing.
Right, and you bounce off of enemies, and so you have to use enemies as platforms, kind of like you do in Mario World with the A button jump, right? Where you can chain
spin jump.
Yeah. And like this game gave me serious NES DuckTales vibes, which is such a weird place to pull from. But
a much better game though.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Oh man. And that's the song is Strike the Earth. That Poison you gave me is fucking with me. Like yeah, my back is sweaty. Mom's spaghetti. Yeah. I can run through just the general plot of a Shovel of Hope real quick.
If
you want. Yeah.
It's
if we want to talk about the DLC, we can. If not, that's cool. But if we don't get to it, listener, definitely give it a try.
Yeah.
It's you. So the DLC is there's other knights you encounter in the main story.
Mm-hmm.
The DLC is basically what those knights were doing,
right,
and their own adventure to get where they were currently at during the main story, and it's really amazing, really charming. I thought Spectre Knight, the DLC Spectre of Torment, I thought that was the most interesting one.
Okay.
Because it's a little more of a sad story, but the gameplay mechanics are a lot more satisfying.
Okay.
Spectre Knight also has one of the coolest assets in the game.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The coolest looking character in the entire series, in my mind. Kind of a Reaper,
Grim Reaper kind of thing.
Yeah, like a Grim Reaper, especially with a scythe weapon mixed with like Jack of Blades from the Fable series. If you ever,
And
with the red cloak and everything, it's very menacing.
When we get to gameplay, I want to talk about Spectre Knight in particular because that was when I had kind of a realization that changed the way I played the game just a little bit.
Okay.
It changed the way I encountered the bosses.
Yeah.
But anyway, carry on.
Open this beer for me so I can wash down that poison, please.
There'll be peace when you are done.
Do you know I married into the family of that
Yes.
guy? Okay.
You tell me every time I see you.
Just rub it in.
I think that's unfair, sir. Now I'm gonna.
Do it.
You're gonna come, like, I'm gonna be waiting outside.
I fucking dare you.
Upstairs, like, we're gonna be in between, like, recordings, and I'm gonna go upstairs and wait outside the bathroom. You're gonna come out and I'm gonna
Oh my God.
Hey, did you know this thing?
Kirk's literally dying.
Yeah, my back is so sweat. Like I have so much tit sweat. Oh my God, dude.
Like, Kirk is the fittest of all of us. Yeah. I feel confident in saying so. And he's just wearing a t-shirt. I'm in a sweatshirt, and he's over there dying.
Yeah,
Kirk doesn't look.
I no shit. 4 days a week, go to the gym, run 3 3/4 mile every morning, and like amazing cardio and everything. I'm just sweating my ass off right now.
Would you like some more?
God damn! Knowing that stuff, I'm probably gonna drink it and then get freezing cold.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, transmutes properties. Okay. Yeah. Shovel Knight, or Shovel of Hope.
Yeah. Okay. So you play as Shovel Knight. That's his name. That's the protagonist's name. You're a partner with Shield Knight.
Crazy cute.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah.
And it's Shovel Knight. His weapon is a shovel. It's a spade shovel. It's so funny.
Right.
And he's a well-known adventurer along with his partner, Shield Knight, who has a big giant shield.
Right.
Actually really cool looking. I'm kind of upset that there isn't like a Shield Knight game.
Yeah.
And that's a mechanic where you have to like use weapon projectiles or whatever to bounce off your shield to knock you around to go. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
They should do a Lost Vikings style like puzzle platformer.
They could do like a bullet hell thing, but where you just like use projectiles for movement.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's sexy.
And maybe they're still going to do it. They did. Okay, sidebar. I just found out just this morning because I was writing down my notes, just extra little tidbits that aren't at the top of my mind or might get erased by some sort of weird poison Brent feeds me. There is even though this game is 10 years old, they're releasing another version of the game called Shovel Knight: A Shovel of Hope DX, where there's 20 playable characters.
Holy shit.
Damn.
I did see, because this is Yacht Club Games. I did see that they are actually working on a non-Shovel Knight game.
They're probably tired of it, but I mean, I would say at least release a Shield Knight one, though.
Shield Knight would be great.
Like, come on, that's the other protagonist. How has Shield Knight not got her own thing yet?
Her asset is so cool.
Yeah.
Shut up! I saw what you did there.
I didn't actually. I'm smiling because I failed upward into it. I didn't mean. I was being genuine. Then I was like, "Oh, that was good."
I saw the moment it clicked in your brain. But I'm like, "You son of a bitch! That's funny as hell."
I love it.
We don't have to go that way every time. We do, but we don't have to go that way every time.
Pixelated boobies. Okay. I will say, like, when we get there, in the being able to play as Shovel Knight with Shield Knight is one of the most like rewarding bits of a game ever. It's super cool. But
and the fight mechanic is a lot of fun too. Yeah, because it does exactly like what I would like to see out of a campaign with just Shield Knight, utilizing the shield the way she does in that fight you're talking about.
Yeah.
So awesome.
It is really neat.
Anyways, so they're well-known adventurers, Shovel Knight and Shield Knight. They're basically looting a tower, the Tower of Fate, and they come across a strange amulet. Shit hits the fan. Shovel Knight finds himself outside the Tower of Fate, and he has lost his friend, Shield Knight.
Right.
can't find her, doesn't know what happened, can't get back into the Tower of Fate, and depressed, he resorts to a life of, I mean, they don't say it, but they do in the pictures in the game where he's actually using his weapon, which is a spade shovel, to like pursue a life of farming.
Yeah. So
funny and cute. Until one day there is an uprising with she calls herself the Enchantress.
Right.
She has gathered all the other knights of the area and has formed the
Order of No Quarter.
Yeah, the Order of No Quarter. It is the most adorable name for a group of knights.
It's so 80s. I love it.
And the Order of No Quarter. It's so good. And so Shovel Knight then embarks on a quest to restore order to the land, take power back from all these knights who have appropriated different parts of the world, and defeat the Enchantress. And the Enchantress.
The poison.
I'm just drink some more Baijiu.
I'm imagining like a John Wick-esque like start where like he's like out there like with his shovel.
Yeah.
And, like he digs up another shovel to go on his quest with. Sorry.
There are lots of cool upgrades too. You can get for your shovel like a power swing, or the ability to send sparks across the ground, or to shovel like little treasure pockets out of the ground with one shovel swing instead of multiple. There's different armors you can get. I mean, you look the same, but your color palette will change based on what you select, or what one will make it so when you die you only lose half as much money, or another one is you're just heavier so you're not as susceptible to knockback. It's really fun. They really fleshed it out. The main mechanics of the game are obviously you use your shovel to do different things, like Brent alluded to earlier, the very DuckTalesian down jump. Shovel Knight will point his shovel down, which is the best attack, but also like a core mechanic of the game.
Yes.
To get around from place to place. Oh man, there are other little amulets you can get, we're not amulet, more like relics. A special weapon. Yeah, the relics. Yeah, you get magic wand that shoots fireballs. A little coin you throw on the floor and hits enemies and turns them into treasure. God, what are some other ones? The one that makes you transparent, so it's like kind of a ghost invincibility mode.
Temporary invincibility.
That's the one I use the most.
There's like
the fishing rod.
The fishing rod. There's a bouncing. Like just a glowing green ball that like bounces for a short time kind of in your area. I actually find that one situationally very useful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I honestly used almost all of them depending on the propeller dagger, which is hilarious and hazardous.
Oh yeah, very hazardous.
The little gear that you jump off of. This is something else. Like every one of them has its use, and they're so Everything about this game is cute, and every one of the weapons is cute as well.
I loved the presentation of this game, and its like gameplay felt like almost like a greatest hits of NES games, because to get from level to level, you have like a Super Mario 3 style map that lets you move around. You've got a Castlevania 2 style town that you return to get upgrades and stuff like that, only they don't lie to you, which is nice. But it also
you can talk to the cutest denizens of any town you'll ever see.
They're so adorable. And then we mentioned the DuckTales style down jump. But whenever you're ready to get there, I want to talk about the checkpoint system in this game.
Oh yeah,
because I fucking loved it, and it was one of those things where it made me angry retroactively. Because this is a challenging game. It's a tough game.
Did you realize what you could do with the checkpoints like much later?
Yeah.
I figured it out by accident way earlier.
So
it's a thing that you can fail into.
I may have been destroying the checkpoints for money
the whole time.
For several years now.
That's weird because I'm the exact opposite. Even though I've played the game inside and out, I still just don't trust myself enough.
I didn't
where I
know.
never break a single one.
I didn't know.
I'm bad and I don't trust myself.
Yeah.
I didn't know that if you just kept going, that would become a checkpoint. I thought those things were just treasure chests.
It's fine.
But they like show it on like the progress map. I'm sorry.
I'm very dumb. But yeah, so each level has these like glowing orb things that are checkpoints, and if you run past it, it lights up. It's got like a little like blue flame in it, and then when you die, you return to that checkpoint. It also has like when you die, you lose money, but you can recover it.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's got some like more
kind of like a roguelite, not roguelike, but like roguelite kind of thing, right?
It's got some like more modern gameplay elements to it that I really appreciated because
Dark Souls came before this, so
yeah, true, but I don't like
Dark Souls. Hey, Brent, guess what my next game is?
Oh no,
Brent, did you notice the type and the color flame? Like, did you catch on that? Will indicate how much money you can get from that checkpoint in particular.
No.
Yeah, there will be different flame sizes and colors.
Like
I'll
the
indicate
color
how
of
much,
the gem inside.
Well, it kind of alert you to, like, if you break it, how much money you're going to get out of it. So there's some that are worth more than others that actually kind of act as a warning. Like, obviously, if they're going to give you a lot of money for breaking it, it's going to be tough.
Whatever's next is going to be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't notice that. Again.
So that's part of the mechanic is the checkpoints. You can break the checkpoints for money, but if you die, you don't get to go back to that checkpoint. You go to whatever checkpoint was before that, or in Brent's case, the very beginning of the level.
I just want to say I'm very proud of myself because up until this playthrough, I had never gotten all the way to the Tower of Fate, but I'd beaten everything else in the Shovel of Hope campaign without a checkpoint.
That's impressive.
Impressive. I think that's an achievement even.
Because I used to play it on my 3DS and I thought it was you just destroyed those for money.
and that's not. I would like to give Brent the benefit of the doubt, but you got to hit that thing like 3 or 4 fucking times to break it. So they give you multiple chances, so you can't just accidentally break it.
Well, but okay, but the little piles of money, rocks and gems, you do the same thing. You have to hit it like 2 or 3 times. So I just assumed that everything in the game that was breakable was there just for money.
Shit, girl, you're crazy.
There's
no way I could beat this game without the checkpoint.
Oh, and I want to be clear, I didn't, because I did not. The Tower of Fate is it's fucking crazy. Although to me, the hardest part of the game was probably Propeller Knight.
Propeller Knight, yep.
That fucking level is brutal.
The green like wind blade knight, like standard encounters, not even the bosses that.
Yeah.
I hate those little fuckers.
Yeah.
Those guys.
The ones that fly around and then will shoot wind out to deliberately try to knock you off a platform.
I hate them more than anything else in the game.
I was really hoping you would end that sentence.
Yep.
I hate them more than anything else.
But see, that's full stop. That's where a lot of the different armors you can buy come into play, because they obviously want to encourage you to use the heavier armor set, because if you do use that in the level, those guys don't do shit.
Yeah.
They can't do anything. But you're also heavier, so your jumps aren't as easy or predictable, and they're a little bit shorter,
and
but
they can still blow you off platforms.
Even with the heavy armor? Well, it takes a lot longer for them to do it. But your jumps and where you're on a platform is largely
I think if you're
not
planted,
as impacted.
I think if you're planted on a platform, you move much more slowly if you're blown by them. But I think if you're like midair, that you still just like go flying.
Oh, I never experienced that. I still would kind of land where I was predicting.
So there's like a mechanic where you have like the statue on the platform that like extends the rainbow bridge. So basically like that's a really clever mechanic, by the way. Like, so there's like this platform that has like a dragon head statue on it.
Yes, and you smack it and it goes forward.
If you sit on one side of the head and then smack it in the other direction, it goes flying and then leaves like a temporary like rainbow light trail that you can run along to follow the thing.
Yes.
And the platform like kills enemies that it hits. But there was a section that I don't know. Maybe it was my stupid brain. It was almost certainly my stupid brain. I took the longest time to get past this one section with one of those little green fuckers.
Is it the one?
He just kept blowing. It's in the Tower of Fate Ascent.
There's a section of that. I know exactly what you're talking about. And there's a section where there's like 2 pipes. And so you have to like jump. And
there's flames in between them. Yeah.
And there's one of those little green fuckers that comes down. And it took me 20 minutes, 30 minutes
Y'all need
to
to
get
use the
past
flame
that
wand,
section.
bruh.
I never got the flame wand. That wasn't one of the things I grabbed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird. It's like I think that's the first relic you can get.
What I ended up doing is like he spawns like basically at the edge of the screen, and if you get all the way up to that pillar, and then send the platform out, the platform will take him out before he can ever get to you. And so eventually I just, which is dangerously close to what I wanted to talk about with gameplay, but I don't think we're quite ready to get there.
Let's wait. Talking about relics and armor and upgrades, did anyone else get far enough to do like the Battletoads? Just like secret shit and get the Battletoads armor, or if you're on a PlayStation, the Kratos stuff or anything like that. No. So Shovel Knight got big enough where he was included in many, many other popular games.
Yeah.
Should have been in Super Smash Bros, but Nintendo is a piece of shit.
That's accurate.
Even though he won the vote, they didn't give it to him. They needed to put in another fucking Fire Emblem dumbass character that no one in America knows who the fuck they are because you're normal. Anyways, I know JJ is just fuming right now. It's like, I know, like, no. Fire Emblem's fucking dumb. It should have been. They already had like 5 characters from that dumb fucking game. Like,
right.
Shovel Knight, come on.
No.
It's a no-brainer.
But they did end up putting in Shovel Knight as like either like a trophy and or like a power thing. Like I think
like an assist trophy or something.
Yeah, I can't remember if he runs around and starts attacking people or not. If it's one of those kind of like helper things or not. But at least they were cool enough to be like, all right, he can get something.
It's the only indie game that's got an amiibo, I think.
Yes, I do. I love Shovel Knight so much. So going back to how I bought it and everything, I have the 4-pack amiibo with all the knights.
Nice.
And even my friends will buy me Shovel Knight merchandise because they know I love it so much.
Yeah.
Like the little rat copters.
Yeah, so cute.
So yeah, speaking of JJ, he for my birthday one year, he got me a rat copter like plushie that's on my desk. It's so cute. And the amiibos too, in various games. Doesn't matter if it's Link's Awake or the newer Zelda games, Tears of the Kingdom, and then Breath of the Wild. Yeah, they'll like give you food and stuff, which is in gems, which is kind of funny.
Yeah,
because Shovel Knight, it's all about turkey legs and and gems and rupees and money. Yeah,
I thought Castlevania,
right? Wall turkeys.
The wall chicken.
It's a pork chop. That's what I love. In the fucking manual for Castlevania, it describes it as a pork chop, and I'm like, that is a chicken.
Yeah. I've seen chickens before.
Right.
When pigs fly, Brent.
Right.
The amiibos in the main game give you like God, nerds. The look they just gave each other. Yeah, go
Brent and I
it.
just exchanged.
Danny and I did the same stupid face at each other at the same time. Oh my god, that's so dumb. I love it. Sorry,
it was knowing eyebrows raised intensity.
Finally, the poison is getting to them. We're all in this swirling toilet now.
Spiraling.
I do feel strangely hot and not like sexy. That's all the time.
Yeah, and we can't blame it on the outdoors because right now,
it's
like when
so
I left
nice.
here, it was 55 degrees. It's now 63. So it's not as if it's fucking hot.
No.
It is not hot at all. It's the opposite.
It's dangerous for this to be near me.
I feel warmth on the back of my neck. Is that normal?
I almost want to open up this goddamn door to the outside because I'm sweating my balls off right now. Why, Brent? Why would you poison us?
Because it was kind of funny.
It's like, all right.
Would you? I mean, if this goes on the internet, that's going to be in your court case.
Why would you poison us? I don't know. It
seemed funny.
It seemed funny at the time.
My wife Pam stands up in the audience, points, murderer!
It was him!
Nah, she'd laugh too.
Oh, yeah. She'd be like, yeah, I got that insurance money. It's cool.
I didn't mean quite that dark, but all right.
Nah, she's way too much like me. Like, she'd be like, I'm going to Hawaii, bitches. And
Brent, you just made forever. 3 wealthy women.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, So the amiibo thing, if I remember correctly, because I don't, oddly enough, I use the amiibos more for other games than Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
In Shovel Knight, they give you like a little like fairy creatures that fly around. I think they help you in some way. I don't. Okay. It's been so long since I've used them for the game. I can't remember exactly what they do.
Sure.
But it's a lot of fun. Okay, so I think we kind of covered. Oh no, the Battletoads thing. Okay, so Shovel Knight was so outrageously popular. Like a lot of people even say it's one of the best games ever made.
Yeah.
If you look at a lot of the charts in the list, they're like Shovel Knight. Yeah. If you look at 2014, like on Wikipedia, what were people considering like the best game of the year, best game ever made for like at that time? Shovel Knight's on that list. Oddly, Destiny is on that list too for 2014. It's like wow. I don't know if I agree with that. I love the game, but I wouldn't call it the best game of all time.
Fair.
Maybe at the time it was so revolutionary. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, Bungie too with Halo and all that. They were like, hell yeah. But anyway, so it was showing up in popular culture, popular media, and what have you. And during the time, you had the resurgence of Battletoads coming out with their like a remaster or remake of their originals. So they did a tie-in, but obviously because Battletoads is owned by Rare. Yeah. Rare didn't want to play nice with Sony or vice versa. So if you played on the PlayStation version of Shovel Knight, you got like a Kratos kind of mission story, and you can get like a different set of... I don't know. I never played it, so I can't say with any accuracy what you actually get. But if you play on Steam, like Xbox, there is a divide.
Yeah.
I think on the Nintendo version, I think you still get the Battletoads.
Okay. Which makes sense.
Yeah. But I don't know, because like Rare and Nintendo parted ways way back, like after GoldenEye and all that, when Microsoft bought them, and then Rare did nothing after that for many years.
Right. When Microsoft did the Microsoft thing,
Microsoft
and bought a company to kill it.
Yeah, Microsoft is going to Microsoft.
We decided we don't like that you have video games, people.
Yeah.
But we would like you to not have video games.
So... you get like a secret mission thing, and if you complete it, like it actually has like the Battletoads there and their ship that they show up in the area, which is pretty cool. But if you complete that whole side quest, you get like green armor, and you look a little more muscular. And when the way you attack enemies and the animation is like Battletoads, like you do like a quick 3 attack.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then you do like a finisher, like a big fist or a big foot. Shovel Knight does that.
That's awesome.
Either with his foot or his
sick.
shovel, and he does it with the down attack too. Like a shovel will get huge.
Oh, nice!
And then when the enemies die, it does like that 4 little sprite like kind of star effect going on. It's really cool. It's worth it because it's really funny. And again, I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know what the Kratos one does. I never played it. I don't think I've seen any gameplay footage of it. But it's very cute. It's very sweet. I love the green armor and just the extra animations and sprites that they did, because it was obviously a labor of love. That collab was great. I enjoyed it thoroughly. You talk now.
Sorry about the car in the background. We opened the garage door because we're all sweating out poison right now.
Yeah, so
there's a pesticide in our veins.
Yeah, so if you hear birds and cars and shit, that's why. But yeah, the Baiju is. I want to point out, listener, that I gave these gentlemen each a half shot.
It wasn't very much
of Baiju. They each had about 3/4 of an ounce of this beverage, and they both look significantly less healthy than they did before.
The only thing is Brent was already hungover, so the change wasn't.
Yeah. I'm kind of maintaining an
decaying already. So.
Decaying already? Oh God. Yeah, that's about right. That's accurate.
I feel like Brent didn't go into a total wine. He was already fucked up. Went into an automotive shop, bought a carburetor degreaser or cleaner. And that's what he's feeding.
I think he wandered into one of the realms of oblivion, and Sheogorath just gave him this shit.
Yeah.
There's your Elder Scrolls reference out of nowhere for no reason.
Hey,
apropos of nothing, but I love Sheogorath.
Yeah, well,
anyway.
Oblivion's great.
Brent wandered into the 40K universe. Nurgle straight up handed him this shit. Was like, good luck, fucker.
There you go. Yeah.
That is something Nurgle would drink and love.
We have to rebuild our nerd cred since Kirk dropped the fucking Valve Steam bomb on us.
Dude,
that's
Jesus
fair.
Christ.
That's fair.
That still hurts. I'm not over that.
Okay. So anyway, so you go through the game. and you go through each little section. Again, it's like a Mario 3-esque. You get to select which areas you get to visit. There's some things are kind of gated because based on the mechanics of the game and what you earn.
Much in the same way that Mario 3 is. Yeah,
exactly. So not everything's going to be available to you, but a lot of it is.
Yep.
Like huge chunks at a time. So you go around and you defeat these other knights, part of the Order of No Quarter.
Right.
It's fucking... I want that like printed above my computer desk. Like,
get it as a tramp stamp.
Yeah. That's what we should change the... Oh my god. Yeah, it'd be amazing.
Kirk can get the Order of No Quarter, and Brent can get Valve-released Steam.
Tramp stamps.
I feel like putting Valve release Steam right above my butthole. It's a little bit ominous.
You mean a little on the nose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not. Yeah,
I'm not going to touch that one.
I'm not gonna make an eating ass joke. It's not where I'm comfortable going at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Oh god, this is either fantastic content or we're done.
Well, if you need to stay on theme, and just like change it to using a shovel to eat ass. Like,
oh god,
for assery.
Yeah, maybe not a spade shovel. It might need to be like one of those garden shovels, you know?
You're gonna say like a
get it in
snow
there.
shovel.
Yeah. Well, no.
Fuck.
Oh my god, Polar Knight actually
Has a
has
snow
a
shovel.
big old snow shovel. I
true,
fucking
he
love that.
does.
I love that stupid attention to
And
detail.
he's one of the only enemies that will attack you vertically while you are shoveling down and can actually hurt you while you're doing your down attack, which infuriates me.
He
the
puts,
fucker with the spikes on the ground everywhere, and then you're getting hit.
Yeah, he'll take a snow shovel, point up in the air, and try to block you
And
from down attacking
and you can tell like when he's getting ready to, he like pumps it up at you and like smacks you with it.
Yeah.
Asshole.
One thing that I don't know that we've mentioned is, so in the same way that in Mario 3 you get the Hammer Brothers that are like roaming the map, in Shovel Knight, as you're going through the map, you will meet these other random adventurers, and their icons will show up on the map, and they'll move around randomly. And it's great because they're little mini boss battles.
Not bad guys though.
No,
we should clarify that. Their stories like they're good guys,
right?
But because you are a knight and there's knights attacking the countryside,
right? They assume you're part of the Order of No Quarter,
so they immediately attack you. So
and it's great because everyone Shovel Knight has this dialogue where he's just like, no, dude, like, no, wait, hang on, I don't want to fight you. Can we not though?
Well met.
I didn't
was even like part of well met.
I didn't realize it until like the ending credits. That like when they like all get together and like all of those, like the guy, like the Atelier or whatever, and then like the big like
Baz.
Yeti looking guy.
Baz, I think is his name.
Okay.
B-A-Z. If I remember.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
And then like the quick, like there are four of them, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that like
3 or 4.
their design motif is all the same. Like, so they all have like the same like color palette and like all their stuff's the same. And they look like Kiss. Sort of. Like
dude.
No, I never made that connection.
Not exactly, but like that's what
excellent.
popped into my head. It's such good attention to detail that like it's this through line that you wouldn't get until the very end of the game. But like there's you alluded to it already, Kirk, where like there's a backstory that exists that is very well thought out in this game. And it, for just being a platformer, there's a lot of like everything's for a reason.
Yeah.
And so like you don't get that until the very end, but then like they all gather together. I think it's like in his shop. Baz, is that the one in the where like you fight him in the town, second town?
Baz is like the big guy who's just like, bottle the best armor and whatever.
That's right.
That's Baz.
When you go to like Armor Town or whatever it's called, when you go to like the guys like the Hatter's house or whatever his name is, and fight him, like the ending credits like show them like I think it's there, like they're all meeting there, and that's when I was like, oh my god, they're all friends, like they're all from like their own group or whatever. And it's just like I said, the attention to detail is so charming.
It really does, and I know I said something similar earlier, but it really does feel like like the sort of final form of an 8-bit platformer, right? Like it's I don't.
They learned all the lessons.
Yeah, it's got an immersive world. It's got great music. It's got great visuals.
And good story, really.
Yeah, I mean,
simple, easy to follow, but very compelling too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like everybody has a purpose. Like without having to explain too much, you know their story, and then they flesh out further in the DLCs.
That final, the final moment where like the black like bars, like the transition at the very end, like closes in when Shovel Knight's asleep at the fire, and I won't mention what happens after that, but like the very last.
It's 10 years old. Just go.
Well, fair enough. And then like it opens back up one more time,
yeah.
and Shield Knight like stumbles in and lays down next to the fire. It's like that like gets you just a little bit,
and they cuddle.
It just gets you just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like there's not very many games that make me do that, and that's like.
That was my wallpaper background for the longest time. And like, what is a wallpaper engine? There's one where you can get where the fire is animated, but Shield Knight and Shovel Knight cuddling by the fire in that scene. I had that for the longest time.
I love and so after you beat each member of the Order of No Quarter, you go to, initially you just go, the first time, when I think it's Black Knight is the first one you fight, you just go to this scene where Shovel Knight is like sitting by the fire. That's very cool, and like you have to like actually like he doesn't automatically get up and start going. You have to do something with the control. I forget if it's jump or just move to the right. But
if you do if you do like the shovel strike, he just kind of like he's like restless and he just moves around.
Yes, that's right. But so I love because as you get further in the game, there's a mini game that pops up of his dream. He's dreaming about Shield Knight and like trying to save her from these monsters, and so like it's just a cool little like get extra coins.
Oh yeah,
game.
Kill as much as possible in those sections.
Yeah. It just adds to it, furthers that world building and that plot, and I also love just the callback to because there's so many. I'm thinking mostly of like the Zelda games of like the idea of it's an adventure game. And you always start by waking up, and I love that imagery.
And it builds him as a character too.
Yeah,
where there's like a lot of
the achievement that when you wake up, you want to put out your campfire.
What?
You never put out the campfire?
You don't.
Oh, God damn it, motherfucker!
The achievement is literally only you. Because it's like, only you can prevent forest fires. Because they want you to dig up the camp. Like, it even gives you treasure, man.
Yeah, you get extra treasure if you dig up the fire, Brent.
Yeah, to completely put it out. I think it's just smoldering. But, like, there's even the little treasure symbol that even tells you, like, hey, there's treasure here. But you dig it up and it gives you extra gems. And it puts out the smoldering campfire.
Motherfucker, I was like...
Smokey Bear's coming for you, dude.
I was so proud of myself because I was like, I came... with my mea culpa. I knew what it was that I fucked up, and it was the fucking checkpoints. God damn it.
There's even an achievement for it, and it's actually kind of cute. When I saw it, it's like, only
I
you.
think I'm a better gamer than I give myself credit for. Because I'm so stupid that I miss all the fucking, like actual, like, game mechanics.
And you still triumph.
And I fucking hard mode every game I fucking play.
There should have been an alternate ending where since Brendan like completely
the whole
forest burns down.
It's a long distance shot of just like the horizon with like an orange glow and smoke, and like Shovel Knight just like
That's so fucking typical, dude. Of course I fucking missed that.
You are an exceptional platform gamer.
I
am. That's my secret for this game.
Yeah.
And for any platformer we ever play, I'm really bad at platformers.
Yeah. Well, hey, if I can get through 2 fucking FPS games for this podcast, you can do a couple platformers.
I have no problem with it. I mean, there's a reason. Like it was like all games for a good long time.
Yeah.
We're platformers, and I mean it's where most of us started.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at Mario, but doesn't mean I don't like it.
Yeah, and this one has a unique skill set, right? Because it's that chaining down thrusts and being able to grok where Shovel Knight's going to bounce, and where your enemy's going to go to, so that you can...
Very reminiscent of the Mario World, Super Mario World spin jump.
This is maybe a good time for me to mention the thing I wanted to talk about with Spectre Knight and the gameplay.
Yeah.
In fact, because I think it perfectly segues into this. Kirk, you might even say it dovetails.
Stop using that word. I'll kill you both.
Woo! It took me until Shovel Knight. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dovetails.
Yeah.
Woo.
Oh, God damn it. You son of a bitch.
Man, I was listening to our Link's Awakening episode not too long ago, and fucking Kirk and I, when you were talking about the owl, and Kirk and I just looking at each other going, whoo! Every time you said it. God, we're such assholes. I love it.
Bad friends.
Oh! Okay, hang on. I'm so sorry. Did you realize? I did not realize this. Did you know that that Rauru in Ocarina of Time is the owl? That the guy, the Sage of Time that you meet in Ocarina is the owl. It's the same character.
Does he have the same name?
Canonically, that's the owl. When he goes to Hyrule, he turns into an owl. So Rauru is the owl. Rauru is also the name of the fucking guy in Tears of the Kingdom. And so I'm thinking we need to go back and do a whole "The Owl is the Villain of Legend of Zelda" episode and just follow his fucking journey.
Spoiler owl strikes again.
Spoiler owl. But anyway, Spectre Knight. Sorry. Go for it.
And I'm just like Charlie Day, like red string on
right.
On the
I'm
board
saying,
moment.
Dude,
Jesus Christ.
like somebody said that, and I went and looked it up, and it's like, no, canonically, that Rauru is what is it, Kepora Gabora, the owl?
Oh, no.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
The hell's wrong with you?
I'm like, yeah, let me pull the Japanese name of the fucking owl out of the back of my head.
I wanted to talk about gameplay and Spectre Knight and my potential mea culpa. So ignore I'm pulling a
God damn it.
label off the can. I might as well just acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Let's pull back the curtain a little bit.
Yeah. Inside baseball.
I need a little bit of caffeine after the poison.
Dude, yeah, I
poison for poison.
Chugged a fucking whole pot of black coffee before we started recording. So I was like, I need energy, and I need it from chemicals.
Yeah.
So it's not coming from my body.
I'm going to give my synapses a good sharp slap.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Spectre
Jesus, I promise I'll get to this. So,
yeah.
This is like, I'm going to basically admit something here, which
Yeah.
you guys are going to be like, fucking duh. I never looked at platformers because I just admitted I'm not good at platforming games. I'm getting better, and I enjoy them.
Sure.
I'm just like, my timing, for whatever reason, in like that 2D space is hard for my brain.
Okay.
I did not view platformers as like rhythm games until I fought Spectre Knight, and then I realized the thing that makes that. So I got good, or like I'm relatively good at like Dark Souls, and like Elden Ring, and like the From Software games.
Sure.
Because they're rhythm games. Like when you fight the enemies, there's a pattern, there's a timing, and there's strategy, but it's all based on that timing mechanic. I didn't realize that with Spectre Knight until maybe the third time I died. I was like, "What? I'm missing something." And the pattern is not just sticking out in my brain. Mm-hmm. So like I need to. It's not just about paying attention, but it's great, and it feels so good once you get going.
Yeah,
that one flows more than almost any of the other fights because of his movement around, like kind of the circular movement, and his scythe as it goes around the level, around the battlefield. At one point it clicked with me, and then I was able to start playing it like it felt like it was always there,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not that he didn't have like a pretty simple pattern. You know, I'm going to throw my scythe. It's going to circle around the entire map. Then I'm going to appear behind you below, and I'm going to throw it up around, and then I'm going to come swipe at you from across. And it's always the same pattern.
Yeah.
But I didn't view it that way until, and it changed kind of the way I fought a lot of the bosses from that point on. Like, was not just pattern, but rhythm.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? The difference between pattern and rhythm?
It does. Yeah, because it's...
I'm sure Kirk's over there like, you fucking idiot.
But no, and that makes perfect sense to me because, like, a pattern you have to view intellectually. Like, you go, okay, this happens, then that happens, then that happens. Yeah. Rhythm is, you have to internalize it. It has to
feel it.
Yeah, you have to feel it. And that boss is very, and not just because of the art style, it's very Castlevania.
Yeah.
It's very like,
especially the blackout sections.
Yeah. It's very like Bloodlines-esque, if you've ever played that one on the Genesis. And yeah, it was a really cool fight. It was one of the easier fights for me because I played so much goddamn Castlevania.
After that switch flipped in my brain,
Yeah.
I absolutely destroyed him.
Yep.
After that switch flipped, I
Once
had
you get
no
it.
problem.
Yeah.
And it changed the way I mean, it might be kind of the, I don't know if playing some of the FPSs is kind of like if you picked up on something that like changed the way you play FPSs at any point, but it's probably going to change the way I play 2D platformers from this point on.
I'm still real bad at FPS games, man. My problem is, my problem with FPS games is not the combat, it's the navigation. I'm really bad at navigating 3D spaces in first person.
Okay.
If it's a third person 3D game, I can navigate it just fine. But navigate like Fear or Halo, I spent so much time lost. And I was like, oh God, where the fuck do I need to go? That's my problem with it more than the actual combat.
I know this is neither here nor there, but like, so like, how do you do with like flight simulators or other things that are like 3D space navigation?
Better, weirdly. Like, I'm thinking like we covered Rogue Squadron, and that's one of my favorite games.
Oh yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
And that one I do okay with. Because usually it's more like in the real world, I navigate based on landmarks.
Echolocation.
Yeah, I'm a bat.
He clicks like a dolphin or a bat or whatever, and that's how he's able to make his way around the house.
But no, I navigate based on landmarks. Erin gets really pissed at me because she'll be like, you go to Douglas, and I'm like, I don't know what that street is. Like, I just, I go to this building and I take a left, and you know what I mean? And so like flight sims and stuff, I can just do that. You know what I mean? I navigate based on landmarks.
Okay.
FPS games, because it's such a smaller scale, like, and I do, in real life, I do get lost in buildings fairly frequently.
Oh, no.
So this is just a me problem with like the real world. It's not actually like I can find my way around in a car just fine. But if I'm walking around,
if Brent were a D&D or Pathfinder character, he would have a negative in survival.
Wait, how do you play the back rooms at all?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Maybe it's the fact that you can just endlessly get lost and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But like Erin's school that she works at is all like the blue cinder block hallways, and I can't tell you how many times I've just been like, I just have to like start yelling. I'm like, babe, where's your room?
Just be glad your wife doesn't work in a hospital.
Oh,
mine
fuck.
does. It's just like, oh, well, this fluorescent tomb is where I die. Fluorescent tomb is credit to Kirk for coming up
I
with
use
that
term
word.
a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kirk, what do you think of the fact that I view that as a rhythm, like view it as a rhythm game after I kind of realized that? This is your game, and like you two are like the best platformers that I know. I don't know, maybe JJ's pretty good too, but
For me, it was kind of a mix of both pattern and rhythm. It kind of came easy to me to defeat him. He is one of the first bosses, and it's so unfortunate because in my mind, he's one of the coolest fucking bosses really too.
Cool. Oh yeah.
So I was really upset. I'm happy he got his own DLC and a lot of while you were talking about that, it got me thinking of how the gameplay works in that DLC. If you guys played it, the Spectre of Torment, which is his.
I've only played Shovel.
There is a bit of rhythm because how his mechanic works is the different arenas or screens that you're on will have lanterns or whatever, where part of his mechanic is he'll jump, and his like double jump, quote unquote, is like a vertical line will appear on a special object, and if you jump, press the A button or jump again, he will like scythe jump. Like he'll use that and like kind of go diagonally up.
Okay, that's awesome.
So a lot of that rhythm and timing comes into play because it really helps you. Because if you're in a jam, if you're smart and quick enough, you can like kind of juggle yourself back and forth between things. So you have to kind of get that like when you can hit the button to then of course jump. Yeah. Like, and you have to do it at the precise moment for it to work.
That's sick.
So it got me thinking of that. We touched on Plague Knight and his DLC and how his jump works too.
Yeah,
that one. I thought about that. I'm like, there's no fucking rhythm to that one. That one's just timing. That's all timing / pattern.
Yeah,
there is no rhythm with that one.
It's it's so bizarre.
Is that Plague Knight from the Explodatorium?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's
such a good name.
It is.
I
love
great. The Explodatorium.
And King of Cards, I think, is the name of King Knight's DLC.
Yeah.
His, I would say, is a little more rhythmic because how his thing works is he does like his shoulder charge thing, and then when you hit an enemy, he like does like an automatic spin jump in the air kind of deal. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun.
We should mention, if you're looking to pick this game up now, if you haven't played it, all of the DLC is included in a single package called Shovel Knight Treasure Trove.
Mm-hmm.
And that's available, like Kirk was saying, it's available for every platform, including some dead ones. So
even Linux and stuff. Well, that's not dead, but it's still like an obscure one.
I killed it. Linus Torvalds was beneath my foot.
And then
I shoveled him to death.
On the Switch and 3DS versions, I just remembered what one of the amiibos does. It lets you switch from, like, if you're playing alone. So it has co-op now.
Okay.
And co-op, the benefit of the second character is they can, like, they're more based off of, like, the relics come to you by leveling up instead of actually collecting them from a level.
Okay.
So, like, the more treasure, more things you kill, they level up, and the game just gives you health or magic or a relic bonus or whatever. But you also get different armor sprites, which are pretty cool. Like ones where the helmets have like huge horns,
I got
and different
one of those.
colors, and different kind of like emotes your character can do, where you like vomit rainbows. It's really cool. And
so like the King of the Universe from Katamari Damacy.
Yeah.
Rainbow Road.
Yeah. Or like Gravity Falls when that one gnome gets kicked in
the
and he throws the rainbows. Gnome. Like exactly that. So yeah, Treasure Trove, get that because you get all that stuff too. A lot of the extra co-op-y stuff. I'm gonna jump real quick to. So after you defeat all of the knights, you go to the Tower of Fate.
Yeah.
You fight the Enchantress, who
cool fight.
Yeah, very cool, very moody.
Yeah,
very moody fight too.
Yeah.
You fight the Enchantress.
Enchantress. She is more Enchantress than anybody else.
Welcome to my office. I'm the Enchantress. What brings you today?
That damn poison. So you fight her and defeat her. Well, quote unquote defeat her. You find out that what you were fighting was just an avatar for the Enchantress. I'm just gonna start saying Enchantress because it's funny now.
Yeah, do it, man.
And that was actually Shovel Knight, or I mean Shield Knight.
Shield Knight. Yeah.
Who then in the next phase of the fight to help you out, she'll start using her Shield Knight abilities and blocking like attacks and stuff, and then you get to use her as a jumping platform to then fight and defeat the big bad, and it's a lot of fun. Again, also a very moody fight.
Yeah.
Because you start getting some of the backstory of Black Knight, who's not technically part of, or is he part of the Order No Quarter? I always thought he was kind of like outside all of that.
I feel like he gets kicked out because there's the bit in the Tower of Fate. There's like a boss rush where you go through and you have to fight
like a randomized.
Oh yeah. When they're all sitting at the table.
Yeah. You have to fight all the Order of No Quarter bosses, but I want to say there's like a bit where they all talk about, because Black Knight helps you in the Tower of Fate, and I also get the impression that Black Knight is kind of head over heels for Shield Knight.
Oh yeah, yeah, he had a thing for Shield Knight, but Shield Knight was just like,
no, I got my
here's
man.
this book, and it's the book. She's just not that into you.
Yeah. I got my man, and he's 3 feet tall and has a shovel.
Black Knight's like, she friend zoned me, man.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
Nice guys finish last. Black Knight's an incel. Yes,
I think that he canonically is an incel for sure.
Yeah, he's got that vibe. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Anyway, so the Shield Knight fight at the end.
Oh yeah. So she comes to. She's no longer under the spell. She helps you fight the Enchantress, and it's a really fun.
It's a great
fight. Yeah. Very satisfying,
and it gives you that feel for like what the before the game, like how powerful they were together, because that's mentioned in the story. But you actually get to see it in the game, and that's so cool. Like I love when it's the show don't tell kind of thing.
Yep. Then at the very end, after like the very end of the fight, the Enchantress. Yeah, I'm doing it on purpose now. She's doing like a mega blast, and Shield Knight is blocking it, and then she's like, Black Knight shows up to kind of help out.
Yeah.
And Shield Knight's like, just get Shovel Knight out of here because your character's been incapacitated.
Yeah.
Incapacitated.
Yeah, so when you win, like there's a cinematic that basically plays where like it's no longer the Enchantress, it's like whatever, like the spirit or the thing possessing the amulet.
Yeah.
Like hits Shovel Knight with like a big blast. And so like Black Knight comes in and like Shield Knight's saying like, get him out of here. I can't hold her for very long.
Right.
And Black Knight like reluctantly drags Shovel Knight out of the scene, and then it fades to black with you not knowing what happened to Shield Knight.
Right.
Yep.
So cool.
Yep. But luckily there's kind of an after creds fucking Marvel scene.
Yeah. where fucking Nick Fury recruits
Iron Man or whoever,
Shovel Knight to be part of the Avengers Initiative.
I thought you were going to say that Shield Knight and Shovel Knight are getting shawarma or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know what shawarma is.
Getting bagels.
But Black Knight, he actually drug you to your campsite that you normally sleep next to, and props you up against a log, and he's like, until we meet again. But then like the after scenes, Shovel Knight or Shield Knight. Yeah, she's like limping. Her arm is all janked up, and then she goes and sits next to the campfire and cuddles up next to you, and it's like, oh yay!
Like just the fact that they were able to build so much heart and such an entertaining story into a 8-bit style platformer
in the modern day.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah. Celeste.
Yeah, 10 years ago, modern day.
Celeste, similar in the amount of like storyline they were able to cram into that.
Well, and there's plenty. You said it a minute ago. Show don't tell.
Yeah.
There's plenty of dialogue, but the dialogue is not to tell the story.
Right.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's for fun. It's because it's cute. It's funny. It's characterization.
Yeah.
But a lot of the story is told without any dialogue.
Definitely.
Oh God, we missed the Tropple.
Oh yeah,
the Trout Apple. The Tropple King.
The Truple King.
I always call it
Tropple.
Tropple King.
Oh, that's because it's a trout apple. That's
trout
right.
Apple.
Tropple King. Are you kidding, Brent?
Brent, you don't fuck with me.
What is this? Where is this?
It's
the
like
Tropple chalices, the 2 chalices that you can get boost You get like a potion that you can use. It's the 2 right-hand relics. Are you kidding me, Brent?
Yeah, like one of the relics you get is like literally a chalice, and then you go visit the Tropical King. And even if you use like, did you never notice when you use a fishing rod and then the little apple fish come up and they're just like, oh, you have a chalice and this and that. I can give you a special power.
He's in the forest right next to the first town.
Oh yeah, I remember going there.
He probably. Did you ever go into the basement of the town?
Yeah.
Off to the right side, there's a guy that's like, you should go visit the
Tropical King.
I didn't.
Oh my god.
I remember that guy. Yeah, because there's like the 3 that are like at the bar.
Yeah.
And then there's like a room off to the... Yeah.
And then there's actually, if you go to the left of that area, it's Plague Knight's assistant, but you don't find that out until the DLC.
What? Did you never meet this charming motherfucker?
I wanted the plushie of that so hard. He never went to the Tropical King. God damn it! Like, this is why we can't have nice things.
Look at this fucker. Look how
he's so cute.
Oh my god,
he's like the big fish in Link's Awakening.
Yeah? He's a trout apple or an apple trout. Tropical King. Yeah.
And then when he gives you to fill your chalice, he does like an amazing song and dance, and there's fish flying all over the fucking screen.
You know what because time-wise, this would have come before Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
You know when you first meet...
oh, yeah.
I'm forgetting what his name is. Yeah, what is his name? Exactly. The
Korok guy.
Korok?
Hestu.
Hestu.
Yeah.
With his maracas?
Yeah.
Tropical King does a thing like that, where like the fish of the forest like jump up and like arc across, and like they're like singing and dancing, and then he does this like spit up into the air, and you jump up and like catch it in your chalice.
Nope.
And it'll give you a power up like when you use the power up, it'll refill all of your health, or it'll collect all of the treasure nearby. What's the third one?
And
then invulnerability.
Yep. And it lasts longer than the relic.
Yes. It lasts for, I think, like a solid 30 seconds, I think. The Tropical King and the Tropical Fish in general are the most adorable fucking creatures of any 8-bit game ever.
Okay, so that's 3 for this game.
All this tells me is that you beat this game without most of this in being involved, and you're just very good at it. You're just a good gamer, Brent.
And even the little song that plays is really, really cute. It's like, damn it, Brent missed like the cutest part of the whole fucking game.
Well, I will not feel bad about going back and replaying some of this, because this game owned. Let's
probably wrap up.
Yeah, do we want to go around and do like kind of final thoughts, and then we'll move on to the next thing?
We've talked about pretty much everything. The only other thing I was going to say is the Knuckle Dusters are underrated. A lot of the bosses that kind of move around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck. When they come around, just jump up, knuckle dust right through them. It attacks them, and it doesn't hurt you in return. A lot of people I've seen a lot of walkthroughs or whatever. People don't use that. It's like fucking use it every fucking time.
I never tried that. That's a good idea.
Especially with Propeller dipshit. When he's flying around, he's in the cellar of the screen. Jump up too, knuckle dust right through him. He fucking doesn't like that.
I like the fucking like fake French, like the way that they like tried to convey with written words that he had a French accent. That was pretty. That was pretty killer.
Yeah, he had a rapier. Of course, he's French.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this game was great. It's one that I had played before. This gave me the kick in the ass to actually go through and finish the first campaign, and I heavily recommend. Like, if you like, this might be a nice smooth on ramp if you're interested in retro platformers. Play this first. Like if you haven't played a lot of games from the late 80s, early 90s. This might be kind of a good step, because it'll give you the vibe and it'll give you some of the mechanics, but it's got a lot of quality of life stuff.
Play this before you attempt like Hollow Knight or Dead Cells or one of those games that are heavy platformers, because this is not anywhere near as difficult as those.
No.
But it'll give you the proper foot through the doorway to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I 100% recommend. This game was great.
This was actually my first play of this game. I'd never played Shovel Knight before this. I picked up the Treasure Trove on my Switch because it was the cheapest way to get it for me. It's kind of like I get it. It's popular, and the game still has like things being developed, or like like it's not a defunct thing that you just go out and get as it existed at the time. But it's still expensive. Like it's the same thing as like Skyrim. Like you got to really love this thing because they're going to keep releasing it forever.
Yeah.
But
Shovel Knight keeps making new stuff though. It's 10 years later. They're coming out with a new version of the game.
Yeah.
Like, for what it's worth, it plays extremely well on the Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of an ideal platform for it, in my opinion. It just feels like it was meant to be played on the Switch or like the 3DS.
Yeah.
It feels like they envisioned it there, but I'm sure Steam is the Steam version good? Does it play well on
it's
PC?
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it has full support for whatever fucking controller you want to use.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess with it being designed with modern graphics in mind, you're not going to get the same problems that you have with like trying to scale like Battletoads, for example, onto a modern TV where like all they knew about was voxels. What the fuck is a pixel, Brent? You know, like how do we make this thing not look like trash? So it's beautiful. It's also we didn't really talk about that other than like the color palette and them being honoring the history of the genre.
Right.
But it's a beautiful game too.
Yeah, it scales very appropriately, even on like a 4K screen. That's not a problem there. So whatever you're playing on, it's not a problem.
Yeah, pick it up for whatever platform you use most. Like I say, I played it on the 3DS back in the day, and it was great on that. The Steam version is great. Sounds like Benny played it on the Switch. And
Yacht Club Games was so grateful for all their backers on Kickstarter. There's an entire level just dedicated to all the people that donated them money.
Nice.
I can't remember the name of it. It's like kind of a art gallery, but all the pictures in the backgrounds are like pixelated versions of the people who backed the game through that entire level, which is so cool because you don't really see a lot of people really saying a thank you in such a big way to the people who made the game happen.
Absolutely.
So I thought that was very cool how they made it a whole part of the game too.
Hell yeah.
Like that's amazing, and it's such a labor of love. Fantastic score, fantastic, very easy to grasp platforming.
Yep.
I will continue to keep playing this game for a very long time, even though it's 10 years old. I was still happy to jump in and continue playing it, and then finding out there's yet another version, which I'll end up paying for. Yeah, clearly this is a game that made me.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Awesome. Well, hey, if you like what we're doing, go ahead and check us out on YouTube. We've got some Let's Plays up there if you're interested in watching us, in my case, Miss Mechanics. You can go see me run right past things that probably would help me on my quest. Kirk and our buddy Sean did a Let's Play on Destiny. And
don't watch it.
I thought it was funny as hell. I liked it.
It's okay. It's all right.
And we're YouTube, Spotify, Amazon. I think we're on Apple, but apparently Apple makes you buy an Apple device to get an Apple ID to fucking log in to the podcast app, so that I don't know. Maybe we're super popular on there, but I won't know because I'm not going to buy a fucking Apple product just to fucking check. So
we can probably find...
none of us will.
Blow it out your ass. Fucking.
I guess we can find like an old Apple phone that we can't reuse at work or something that's in a drawer, and we can just fire that bad boy up. Just needs Wi-Fi.
God.
But
Fuck you, Apple.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, thanks for listening. Come check us out on Discord as well, and tell us why we're wrong about things, or maybe right. I don't know. Tell me about other mechanics that I missed in games. I gave you 3 for this one. God fucking damn it. Laugh at us for not knowing that Valve made Steam. That we're just not very smart.
Or the pun attached to it. Yeah.
That's
we knew the company Valve made Steam. We just didn't understand the pun attached to it.
But yeah. God. All right.
For chivalry!
For chivalry!
Maybe we should tell them not to drink Baijiu poison.
Oh yeah,
or
and
they'll melt from the inside
whatever
out.
you do, don't drink Baijiu. It's a trick. Bye.
The Trapple King would not give you that. I might need to grab some ice and rub them on my body and my nipples.
Hang on, let's.
Ooh boy. You like that? You like that fan? You like that mechanical clunking sound? I kind of do.
That's Kirk icing his balls.